Okay, boxing fans, this is my first prediction for 2013, and we're getting straight into it with Gennady Golovkin versus Gabriel Rosado. This could actually be one of the fights of the year as well, I think, if it's competitive. Starting with Golovkin, he's 24-0, 21 wins by way of knockout. The only three guys who've survived the distance all survived a 4 or 6 round fight with him. Since then, no one has been able to survive the distance with him. These are for the middleweight world titles. I understood it was for a catchweight, but then I think since then it's been changed and it's not for the catchweight now. It's at the actual middleweight weight limit, which is good for both Golovkin and Rosado. More so for Golovkin though. Looking at Rosado, 21 wins, 13 of which by way of knockout, 5 defeats, only 1 of which by way of knockout. Like I said, this guy's a very hot and cold fighter. I mean, he's the epitome of hot and cold. If he's cold on the day, you know, he's not great. He's not great and he'll lose the fight. But if he's hot on the day, he's one hell of a fighter and he'll give you hell. He will take you to hell and back. Going straight into the advantages, and I've got to look at the boxing ability of these both guys. You know, Rosado, he can be a decent boxer mover, but he also can just come to fight. If he gets a bit of confidence, he'll come straight in to fight. And that's not going to go well for him in this fight if he comes to fight Golovkin. You know, he can box okay on the back foot. The last time he did that, however, he got dropped and knocked out by Angulo. Yes, that is the slow Angulo that we all know and love, El Perro. He does have some head movement, he pivots, he likes to swivel, he can duck and weave. However, like someone else has pointed out to me, he does all of this to get on the inside to come to fight. However, when you're doing that against someone like Golovkin, I think that's a bad idea. You know, Golovkin is a very, very effective and efficient boxer puncher. You know, people look at his record and they assume this guy is just a brawler, but he is not. He cuts down the ring very well. He can really box his way in sometimes. He can box his way in. He can just box efficiently. That's what I can say. He's like a very Eastern European type of boxer, but then he's got this unbelievable punch power, and then he can come to fight. So if he comes to fight, you know, no one wants to come and fight this guy. People are going to be ducking this guy for a long time, I can tell you that. You look at his record, you think he's bully, he's not. He believes in his power, however, he can pick his shots, and rightly so. Like I said, he moves in at abnormal angles to attack, and then he just lands with so much power, and he's got this natural killer instinct too. By the time you're hit, you know, it's too late to do anything about it, but just hit the floor and try and regroup. And that's what I see happening in this fight, basically. Like I said, the power, unbelievable power. It's second to none at 160 pounds for Golovkin. I very much doubt, even if this fight was at a catchweight, even if it was at a catchweight, the 2 pounds would not hurt Golovkin, because he's a very small 160 pound fighter. Look at him compared to the others, he's very small. I think he could make 154 pounds, but he would get ducked to fuck. That's the point of it. Rosado does have some power if you look at him. Decent boxer, but he's got no pop in his punch compared to Golovkin. They do not compare, and I'm not convinced he's going to be able to have enough pop in his punch to, what's the word I'm going to use now, to get his respect early and to build confidence. I'm starting to think that this could be over within 6. In fact, if I was a gambling man, which I am, I'll probably look to bet a large proportion of my money on knockout rounds 1 to 6, and then put maybe 20% of that of me money on 5 to 8 too, just in case. I don't see it going past 8. No way. Looking at the speed, and I give that to Rosado. This is his main advantage. You know, being a 154 pound fighter, coming up only a few pounds, I doubt that the added muscle will take away from his speed enough to make him sluggish. He does have some good speed. He's shown that in fights before. Like I said, he's shown it in fights before. But another thing is, Golovkin's no slouch. You know, he's not slow. He does wind up his shots a bit too much for me sometimes, so that makes him predictable. You understand, and takes away from his speed. But still, I just don't see Rosado's speed helping him too much in this fight. You look at the defense. Here's another one. You know, against Angulo, he left himself open and got KO'd. And you know, Angulo is an extremely poor version of Gennady Golovkin, in terms of punch power. Golovkin, I think, could knock Angulo out within 1 round, maybe 2 rounds. No shit. I think Golovkin would knock Angulo clean out of the ring. I'll say 3 rounds. I'll go 3 rounds. Golovkin would knock Angulo out. He's got less speed, like I said, Angulo, less pop, less skill. If he only lasted 2 rounds against them, let's say he's got better since then, he's got more experience, let's look at him against that Fernando Guerrero who's fighting Quillen. He lost that fight too, and he showed that his defense was wide open. You know what I mean? His defenses were wide open. He let himself get popped in, straight down the middle, and that's going to be even worse if you get popped by Gennady Golovkin. Yeah, I see this. I'm gonna just come straight out with it now. I see Golovkin knocking him out within 6. I'd say round 5.